Divorces in cases where one party or both parties run a business can be very complicated. When both parties have been working in the business, oftentimes there's a fight as to who's going to control the business and eventually who's going to own the business. As soon as the divorce starts, you can petition the court to award control of the business to one of the spouses. So having an attorney who understands the complications and understands how to address business owner issues can help a lot. We will go into the courts, point out the issues, point out that our client runs the business in the majority and should have full control of that business. And that then leads to them eventually being able to maintain the business and own the business. On the other hand, there are times when only one spouse owns the business. At that point, there can be complications on both sides. Oftentimes, the spouse of the business owner has no idea what the business is worth, has no idea what the income of the business is or the profits. Also, the spouse will have a community property interest in the business. So a big part of that is the valuation of a business in a divorce. Obviously, the person who keeps the business is going to argue that it's near worthless, and the person who is being bought out of the business is going to overinflate what the value of the business is. Having good experts to go and value your business in a realistic manner that favors you is very important in a divorce that involves a business. Most of the time when a business is involved in a divorce, there's not an agreement as to the value of the business. In that case, we petition the court to have what's called a 730 evaluation, where essentially an expert, a business valuator, comes into the business and is able to look at it, value the business, and present that value to the courts. Business valuation can be very complicated when you're working as a licensed professional, say as a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer, even a chiropractor. Essentially, you are the business. Most of the business value is in the goodwill that you have brought through your relationships, oftentimes through your personality. There is a value to that. However, the business is dependent on you. In situations like this where you are the business, it's important to find a good business evaluator who understands that you are the business and values the business appropriately. Oftentimes, because you are the business, this can affect the valuation very favorably for you. Oftentimes, people get married where they own and run a business prior to marriage. And in many cases, they have entered into a prenuptial agreement to help protect them with the business. Unfortunately, in the state of California, these prenuptial agreements are not always upheld. In family law, the court is called a court of equity, which means a court of fairness. Oftentimes, judges will not find that you keeping the full business or keeping that separate is fair. So these judges will look for ways to poke holes in a prenuptial agreement to try and give your spouse community interest in your business. Finding an attorney who understands prenuptial agreements and knows how to argue them to a judge to make sure that the judge honors those is very important when you own a business and you have a prenuptial agreement. I have a lot of clients who own businesses that are very concerned about the amount of debt that they have on their business. Their spouse only sees the income but doesn't see the debt and the debt that's carried with that business. Having a good attorney who understands business valuation and can help you find an expert who can value your business will factor in the amount of debt that you have, and that can factor in the value of your business, even if there's any value at all due to the amount of debt that your business carries. The business comes as a whole, both the revenue and the debt. Having an attorney who understands how business debt affects the valuation of your business is very important so that you can keep your business while having the most minimal buyout to your spouse. If you find this video helpful and have any questions, please call Schank Family Law and we can answer any questions that you have.